Hey everybody, it's Mark Schultz here with Digital Aircraft, and again, we're doing another live broadcast today at the MRO Americas 2023 in Atlanta, and I wanted to bring to you somebody today that I find the contributions that they're making to the industry are really helping us to address some of the challenges that we have in the industry and what some potential solutions are, and so we're going to have a bit of a conversation about it. So today I'm going to bring to you Manoj. Manoj, could you tell everybody just who you are and what your title is and what you do?
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark, first of all, for having this. Enjoy this conversation every year.
Good.
So my name is Manoj Singh, and I manage Ramco's global business for aviation, aerospace, and defense.
Yeah, excellent. So when you say aviation, aerospace, and defense, I know that can be something that can be a little bit broader. Would you just give us just a little bit more explanation of really what Ramco is really doing?
So we are truly an aviation ERP, right? We are not a point solution company. Aviation ERP in the sense that we go all the way from any of the order management, port management, actual work order management, followed by all the supply chain requirement that may be there for those work orders, and wrapping that up all with the finance and accounting. So all complete enchilada, that's what we have to offer.
All right, good. Well, hey, listen, one of the things I like to do when you're watching is I like for people to understand really the business challenges that are out there. And when I talk to companies about, what they're helping people to be able to solve or the challenges they're really solving. So where I'd really like to start with is that, could you tell me really what maybe one of the big business challenges that you're addressing to be able to help people? Can we start with maybe an example of maybe somebody you're helping solve a problem?
Absolutely. One thing that has remained a constant thread as a challenge, it was there last year, it is there today as well, and it has only gotten further accentuated is the whole shortages in manpower, resources, supply chain constraints. So those are the challenges that our customers are grappling with. So it really all boils down to, from our customers' perspective, is how do you do more or same with less? So that is one challenge that we are continuing to see from our customers.
So, but let me ask you this: you said materials, you said labor, things like that, and so those are challenges where we're not able to maybe manage the levels or the things that we need. All right. So what are people looking to try to do, or how are they trying to solve that? Then what's happening?
So people are looking at this problem both from planning as well as execution perspective. From the planning perspective, it all boils down to how do you really take all your demand that you have and all the constraints in your labor, in your material, in your supply chain, and really do a better optimization of the work that you're trying to perform. So that way you are able to use less resources, less labor, less material, and plan better for the execution.
Okay, so we have clear work scopes, we have clear materials, and we have things like that which are necessary to be able to execute cost-effective, solutions. Now, how is Ramco bringing something, to the situation to be able to help solve that? What's happening?
Yeah, and before I talk about that, so there are two parts to the addressing the challenge. One is, of course, looking at from optimization of the planning itself, and the second part is execution. Now, that's where the rubber hits the road, right? In terms of when you have planned something, things could still go wrong, or how would you improve the productivity of your labor in a way that now you need less labor to do the same amount of work or more amount of work, right? So from Ramco's perspective, we have done improvements and capabilities in our software along both the lines. From the better planning and optimization, so we have this in-memory planning and optimization a module or an engine that we can use pretty much on any form of supply chain or cost optimization or resource optimization problem, and that's what we're bringing to the table to help our companies, our customers, optimize their operations.
Okay. Well, just a question. Sure. It's a question. Is you're basically saying you're providing optimization capability. Now, the optimization might be against materials, it might be against cost, it might be against labor requirements for certain tasks. And how do we basically create that more cost-effective and more expeditious and more efficient? That's what you're really saying.
It is all about, if you have a set of work orders that you have to perform, right? How do you perform those work by using less number of labor, less number of material, and doing it in a schedule, and create a schedule for those work to be able to perform them in a shorter time than what you originally did. So reducing the turnaround time, utilizing less amount of labor, and utilizing less amount of material. That's what it boils down to from the optimization perspective. Right? And then a second thing that I talked about was the execution of it. So we have brought in some really nice, cool effectivity tools in the form of our mobile apps. Like the flagship that we bring is our Mechanic Anywhere app.
Okay.
And the beauty of that is it's really truly a state-of-the-art app that we have brought to the market, and that improves the overall productivity and efficiency of work for the technician. So basically, the amount of time that previously somebody would have taken to work on the system for 15 minutes can be done in a fraction of time. Right? So that's the improvement of productivity from that.
Well, certainly from my perspective, I've always been driven to have digital, solutions, but not just that, but mobile solutions and things like that, which you can bring together, and it becomes much more effective because we want to have that digital mobile engagement by everybody, as easily as possible. So that obviously has become a very important part of it. Hey, can we go to another question that I have now? Is that where are some of these things becoming more effective, or where are you looking to be able to help solve these problems? Like I see parts and materials, I see engines, I see aircraft, a lot of different places. Where is your focus right now? Who are you trying to help, right now at this point?
Yeah. So and I'm here in the MRO show, so I'm going to talk more about MRO, but that's the truth as well. Our focus really is in the MRO segment. And when I say MRO segment, it could be a third-party MRO or an MRO or aftermarket division of an OEM, or a tech ops division of an airline that is also starting to focus on third-party work. So all of those are part of our portfolio of customers that we're going after. And we believe that there are some very unique challenges that these third-party MROs have been facing that the industry had not yet solved. For example, we have, sorry about this. So, a very typical scenario for the third-party MRO, take an example of a hangar MRO, airframe MRO, right? Before the aircraft rolls into the hangar, nowadays it takes at least a month for the MRO to gather all the documents from their airline customers from which the aircraft is coming, and then manually spend 3 to 4 weeks to load that data in terms of what tasks to perform, what material to be used, all that information get manually fed into the system. It takes 3 to 4 weeks. So we are attacking problems like this.
Well, how are you solving that? I mean, what are you doing to be able to make that shorter and faster?
Absolutely.
Because I agree with you. You have to get things done faster. We have to accelerate.
And we truly believe in 10x, 5x, 10x kind of improvements in this space, because what if you could take that 1 month time that it takes and reduce that to 1 day?
Okay.
And that's exactly
that would be significant.
That is significant, and that's exactly the reasons why companies like what you see here, Etihad Engineering, and some of the other airline and MRO customers of ours are doing. Basically, what we're doing is using our task card digitization capability. We have the ability to ingest all these manuals that these third-party MROs get from the airlines before the aircraft comes in. We are able to extract all those hundreds of tasks from those manuals and put them digitally into the system in a matter of hours and just days, rather than weeks and months.
Now, you just brought up one of your recent clients. Where are they? You said Etihad or Etihad Engineering. Etihad Engineering. But I know that Etihad Engineering, for example, I've actually worked with them on and off for 10 years, right? And I know they've had some of these challenges that they've really had before them. Now, why would they choose what you're doing right now? What's happening there right now?
So they, among many other reasons, there are 3 things that I would talk about. 2 more on the functional technical side, and 1 on the organizational side, right? On the functional technical, the 2 points that I mentioned earlier, the advanced planning and optimization, to do more with less. And second is, how do you reduce the turnaround time, specifically in the very upfront part of their operations when they have to read all these manuals and upload these tasks. All of those we are trying to reduce from months to days, right? On the organizational front, and this is very important for our audience to know, that Ramco really stands at the software as well as organization level for flexibility. We bring tremendous flexibility in our software. So anybody out there who's trying to solve some difficult problems or trying to innovate their business, Ramco is the software to bank on, because organizationally we are ready and technologically we are ready to support our customers for innovation through our flexibility.
Well, I know Etihad was one of them, which recently made a decision to move forward with you to implement this. I think there was an engine company that you had working in Europe.
right next to what you see, the Iberia.
Right here, Iberia.
Well, Iberia is more than an engine company. They do pretty much all the work.
Okay.
The engine, airframe, component line, as well as all of the other MRO work. So they have been implementing our software across all the different types of MRO operations that they carry out, including engine, of course.
Okay, excellent. Now, I know another area you focused on is materials and components and things like that. Are there any customers here that you've focused on that have you've worked on?
I would highlight, there are many customers that I can highlight from a supply chain perspective, but the one that I want to highlight is General Atomics.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting situation here. The General Atomics is selling their Sky Guardian and Sea Guardian programs, or drones rather, to multiple different countries globally. And pretty much all the way from managing the operations of those drones to planning the maintenance activities for those. And then, more interestingly, the whole supply chain, forward location of parts planning, where those drones are flown in their base locations, all the way up to central planning of inventory and parts for these drones are all done at a global scale within Ramco. Where to stock, what to stock, how much to stock, right part in the right place. That's exactly what.
That's certainly a big problem, both from a cost standpoint, but also from a efficiency and an execution or implementation standpoint. So those things are really, really important. And so that really sounds interesting. So hey, listen, it's really interesting because as I look at this, I see there's about 100 different customers here, and of course, each one of them handles very different things from different perspectives. But the things we've talked about today, I think are some of the biggest things that we see in the industry and some of the biggest challenges. And so what I wanted to tell you, those of you watching today, those of you here that are at the MRO, that it's always good to come and stop and talk to people who have implemented so many different types of solutions and challenges that exist, within the industry. If all you do is come and just listen to thoughts and ideas, and even if you don't make a decision to be able to do something in Ramco, I always try to just share content and information with people because we learn a lot, about it. And if there's something that seems to make sense for you, well, then it makes sense to be able to talk to somebody, a little bit further. So, Manoj, I really think it's really great at what you're doing right now. And if somebody wanted to come by and stop and talk to you, where do they go? What's the
easiest number to remember? 3333. Okay. You can come to our booth here in MRO Americas. And I must tell you one thing, Mark. This morning I had to stand for like 30 minutes in line to get my badge. And I felt very good and bad about it, right? Because industry is coming back, and I love that part of it because we're going to have a good footfall to our booth. So that's already showing up. Have had some really good conversations, and I think industry is turning around, coming back. And one other trend that at the technology level that I wanted to mention, though, I mean, it's directly, indirectly related to us, is I think more and more, pretty much everywhere we are seeing that companies are moving to cloud. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's good for us because we have been cloud ready from the very beginning of the inception of our software, but pretty much everybody now wants to have a cloud-enabled solution, a SaaS model, which is actually very good for us because of the readiness that we already have in that space.
Yeah, good, very good. No, I couldn't agree with you more. Looking at technology and digital, it just makes a really big difference because it enables us to be able to expand and to be able to implement more, solutions when we're doing that kind of technology and able to do it, very broadly. So anyway, listen, if you want to come and see Manoj today, you want to come and see Ramco, come to 3333 and come by and see Manoj, and you'll definitely want to engage in the conversation. It's really been good. I feel like you guys are really making a lot of headway, and so, congratulations, and stop by and see him and learn more about what you can do to help your business to be successful.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks so much.
As always, a pleasure talking to you.
Very much so, yeah. Fair winds and following seas, everybody. I'm really looking forward. We'll be having conversations for the next 2 days, so stand by and watch, and we'll share good information with you. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.